Capricorn, this is going to be your November general reading for 2018. I hope you guys are well. And this month I decided to shuffle and pick your cards before I even start recording. I just feel as though the whole shuffling on camera thing is a huge waste of time. I don't know too many people that actually sit through that part. A lot of people just fast forward through it anyway. So I can assure you that I had the Capricorn Collective in mind when I shuffled and picked these. I obviously didn't pick any of these deliberately. You should know that. So this month I'm doing an 11 card Celtic cross spread for your general reading as usual with the spiral deck. And then for your clarifiers this month, I actually have a new deck that I just got recently that is called the Wildwood Tarot. It looks like this, pardon the jiggles. It's a cute little deck. The cards are little compared to my other decks. And this should be interesting as this is a deck I haven't really worked with that much. So I'm going to show you your first 11 cards, your basic layout, and then I will get started with your reading. So your central experience for the month of November is the Chariot. Your challenge to that situation is the Two of Swords. What is helping you is the Nine of Wands. A card didn't come out as what is hindering you, so although your clarifier might point out some of that stuff. So I just decided to leave it be at that instead of making it more complicated than it needs to be. So at your root of your being, you have the Ace of Pentacles. In your recent past, you have the Hierophant. Your best possible outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. Your near future is interesting. You have Judgment, which is, you have quite a few major arcanas in here. You have four out of 11 in your original spread. You right now are Death. In your surroundings, you have the Four of Swords. As what is your hope and fears, you have the Ten of Swords. And your general outcome, this is very nice. You have the Three of Wands. Both your outcome cards are rather nice. So I did pick quite a few clarifiers just to try to get some specifics in here. But overall, this reading is quite straightforward. So I'm thinking that this isn't going to take too long to do this for you. So your central experience for the month of November is you are deciding where to go next. As in, you may be deciding on if you are going to go on a trip, where are you going to go? As far as goals, how are you going to move forward towards these goals? Or what are your goals right now? Where are you trying to go? Just reining in your personal power and your intuition to figure out what is it that you want to go towards. What steps do you need to take? How do you move forward? And what do you want to move forward to? So that's basically where you're at. You may be feeling a little conflicted, and the reason why I'm saying that is because your countering experience to that is the Two of Swords, and I pulled a clarifier to go with it, or actually several clarifiers. And out of the Wildwood deck, you got another two. You have the Two of Bows. In this case, it's the Two of Wands in this deck. And you also got the Seven of Arrows, which is considered to be swords. This is the Seven of Swords, and its name, I know the lighting is a little strange. Its name is, I don't know if you can see that, let's see. Insecurity. So it looks like you're stuck on a choice involving what direction do you go in your chariot. You may have two things that you are equally torn on where you could go, or you're feeling insecure that you are afraid you are going to make the wrong choice. And so you may be hesitating, or you may feel torn. As far as how do you move forward in your chariot, you may be torn between two locations. You may be torn by two directions, or two people, or to something. Or you just may feel torn and not decided just yet on what is it that you want to go towards. But something about this decision feels somewhat a little on the urgent side to me. Perhaps you're insecure, not just about making the wrong choice, but perhaps you're insecure on what would happen if you take too long in making a choice, in losing your choices altogether, or you're insecure that if you do pick what truly matters to you, that it will somehow fall apart. And it almost feels as though you're having to choose between security and the unknown, or what you're familiar with what you're not familiar with. So what is helping you? Is the Nine of Wands, which in this case I'm getting not defensiveness, but just simple defense, or laying down boundaries. You are done with your energy being taken away or misused, or not having what you put out come back to you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because your clarifier to that is the Six of Stones, which in this is the Six of Pentacles. This is a really interesting depiction of this card in this deck. It's called, hopefully I can angle it where you can see it, Exploitation. And so normally the Six of Pentacles is all about give and take, reciprocity, equal recircular, equal use of resources. And so you may have, what is helping you is to take a stand to make sure that things are not, that you are not exploited, that resources are not exploited, and that to ensure that there is an equal give and take, or an equal exchange, or a fair exchange going on. I'm getting that this is actually what is hindering you, is exploitation. This may be something, well, I mean, I don't like the whole flip-flop interpretations. I suppose for a very few of you, you may have been taking too much and not giving enough in return, in which case it's important for you to face off with yourself on the fact that you're doing that. But I'm more getting that perhaps you have been silently working very hard, or pouring your resources into something, and you feel as though you are not being given back to enough, or you're not seeing a balanced reciprocal flow here with either time, money, resources, or even emotional energy, where you are finally taking a stand on saying, nope, not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to fall for this anymore. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm not going to silently stand by and put all my energy into this and not get anything back. Or, yes, you're done with a lack of reciprocity. And so you're taking a stand for equality. Or it may be that for a few of you, if you are in a relationship or some kind of job situation, you may be with someone who is not really contributing, either with money or work or time, and you feel as though you are the one who has to lead the ship or govern things, but you're wondering whether or not this is really worth it if you're not getting back what you put in. This may be one of the reasons on why you're stuck on this decision is, do you stick with this situation or do you go with a completely different situation? And part of the reason on why you're stuck is, even though you have investments in this or energy and emotional energy put into this, you're wondering if this is going to keep up. You don't know if it's really possible anymore. And so at your root, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There is a new beginning that you want. This could be a new home, a new location, a new business, a new goal, a new relationship. You want a new existing beautiful structure in your life. You want it to be natural, organic, and free-flowing, and you want it to grow properly. You're willing to put your energy into this. This is something you care a great deal about. I pulled 2 clarifiers to go with that. And first I got the Moon and the Page of Cups, which in this deck is an otter. Otters are extremely playful, and they're extremely nurturing and motherly, especially with their young and just with how they are naturally playful. They love water. They love swimming. They love rolling around in the water. They take very good care of their children. With the Moon here, I'm getting that this new potential or this business or this relationship or whatever it is that you have begun is something that you care a great deal about. And you want this to be a playful, enjoyable process. You don't want this to be difficult or to take so much out of you. You want to feel as though you are able to be yourself. But something about the Moon in here, there may be some things that you are not quite aware of just yet. You may not be seeing things as clearly, or you may see certain things more clearly than usual with your intuition. There's something in here, though. Feels as though there's something hidden, or there's something that you're just not receiving yet, or you need to really filter through your emotions and your subconscious emotions and instincts to figure out what is actually your fears and what is actually really happening. But also be afraid of illusion, or thinking that something is either too good to be true, or thinking that something is wonderful when it's not. It seems very confusing. You seem very confused. You want play and enjoyment with this new beginning. But something about it is confusing you on whether or not you know more than me on what you're confused about. I would say listen to your intuition. Or maybe take some time out and rest so that you can see things more clearly. Okay. Pages are messengers. It may be that you receive a message of love or a message that is good news, but something about your insecurities is getting in the way, or you're not sure whether to believe it or not, or you're not sure exactly what's going on. So, in the recent past, you've been doing a lot of healing. You have the Hierophant here. You've been doing a lot of healing. You've been releasing a lot of things that have held you back. Emotionally, physically, mentally. You've been really trusting your own wise self within more, trusting your own innate wisdom. You definitely have noticed progress from this, from changing your attitudes or changing your emotions or changing your outlook, or simply just finally releasing or letting go of old traumas where they no longer hold you back from being able to do what you want to. And again, you have another messenger. You have the Page of Arrows, which in this deck are swords. This is the wren bird. And this is messages by word, either spoken word, written word, information coming in, opportunities, invitations, verbal invitations, new ideas, new ways of seeing things, perceiving things, new communication, new ways of communicating, new ways of seeing things. And then you have a beautiful ace. You have the Ace of Vessels, which in this deck is the Ace of Cups, which is love, pure and simple. It may be that you have been healing your heart, and one of the ways in which you have been healing is you may have realized that you need to speak up about your feelings, or you need to speak up about how you feel. Maybe in the past you've held how you feel to yourself without necessarily opening up that much, and that has actually hindered your progress at times in your life. But now you are coming away from a period where you have healed quite a bit, in that now, instead of holding back or letting your insecurities get in the way, you've been actively healing this part of you that feels as though you can't talk about your feelings, or you can't show your genuine self, or you can't speak your mind, which is excellent. You've been doing a lot of work. Your best possible outcome is to create what you need for yourself, to have abundance on your own without necessarily having to combine energies with other people. This could be creating a nice home for yourself that is just your home, or creating a business for yourself where you are self-employed, or just you are good. Your best possible outcome is to be good no matter what with yourself, to feel as though you can provide for yourself what you truly need. That way, if there are setbacks or problems with other things, you can still rely on yourself. This is self-reliance. This is self-confidence, and this is belief in your own abilities of manifestation. With this card, there's two clarifiers. You have the Seven of Bows, which is the Seven of Wands, which is called clearance in this deck. And you have Judgment. So you're going through a major shift right now. You should be basing your decisions on what you're going to do or how you move forward based off of what you need for yourself. That's extremely important as your best possible outcome. It may be that some of you are having a hard time making a decision what direction to go in because of taking other people's opinions or needs into consideration. But something about this is causing you a lot of insecurities. Is this really following you? Is this really following your path? To think so much about other people's needs, or what other people will think, or what other people will say, or how it'll affect other people. This is making you really insecure on how this will be perceived or seen by others. Or this could be that you're simply having a hard time deciding which direction to go in. But because you have these two, of needing to take a stance on your own boundaries so you ensure that your energy is not being taken from you unnecessarily, or your time, or your money, or your resources, or whatever it is that you need for yourself. It's important, as your best possible outcome, for you to make sure that you are not exploited or taken advantage of or taken for granted, and that you maintain your boundaries with being able to have what you need and to be self-reliant. It's very important for you to follow your own goals right now and follow what is true for you, and just make a decision to go towards that. Some of this has to do with clearing old garbage out. You may even have to clear old garbage out of your home, or out of your business, or clear garbage out of your psyche so that you get clear again on what you need and what you want and how to go about manifesting that. You do need to make some major decisions about what in your life exactly is helping you and what is hindering you. Obviously, what's hindering you is being taken advantage of or not appreciated for what you give, where you're surrounded by possible takers, or I got something in here about feeling as if you're the only adult and the rest of the adults that you're dealing with are kind of like children, where they rely on you a little bit too much. And so you're going to have to make some major decisions, some major assessments and major judgments about this to make sure that you have what you need, and that you're honoring your own needs, and that you're following your own path. Or just to make some major decisions about what to do about certain things. So, again, you have, is this your only repeat? Yep. You have 2 judgment cards in here, so it seems like for November, you're making some major decisions, judgments, and assessments about things on what is helping you, what is hindering you, what is holding you back, what needs to be released, what needs to be let go of, and what needs to come back to life. And in your future, you have judgment, which I'm reading more as things are coming back to life in the near future, because with it, you have the Star, which are your hopes and dreams, optimism, faith in the goodness in the world, in yourself and in other people. And you also have the 8 of Cups, which in this deck is called Rebirth. That's pretty apt, along with the Judgment card, which is also all about rebirth. So whatever this confusion is that you're dealing with currently, as far as where you go from here, you're about to have a huge rebirth. And by assessing things and by tuning in with what truly matters to you, you will be able to be re-inspired, have a rebirth of positive expectations, positive dreams, optimism, looking forward to good things to come. And the good things that you already have, they are going to continue to grow and overflow and fill other cups. I like this version of the Eight of Cups here. If you can really see that. It's almost like a fountain. There are 3 cups above the one big bowl, and then the one big bowl is pouring into 4 other cups. And so, yeah, by reawakening your dreams again and your positive outlook and your hope and faith for what truly matters to you, on what you can have and what you can manifest and what you can go towards, that will refill everything. Rebirth. Interesting. Looks very nice for your future. You do need to make some decisions and judgments, but it looks like by weeding out things that no longer serve you or energies that no longer serve you, you are onto a really good future. So right now, I'm getting something really specific with this. Right now, you have death, and you have number 5, which normally is called the Hierophant, but in this deck, it is called the Ancestor. I don't know if you can see that. With this, I'm getting something really specific. I'm getting that you need to go on some kind of a journey that involves your lineage or reawakening your connections to your heritage, where you come from, where your family comes from, your family history. Also, there's a really strong presence for you guys involving your ancestors in general that have already crossed over or passed on. Your ancestors are really strong right now. Makes sense. We're in November, the Scorpionic month. It's all about the veils are thin. Our loved ones that have crossed over, they're closer to us than usual this time of year with fall and the beginning of winter. And so your ancestors, it feels as though they had a purpose or a dream or a goal themselves that they were trying to get to, or that all of their hard work didn't come with no honor. I don't know how else to put that. Basically, what I'm getting is that your ancestors want you to value your life. They want you to value what you have and what they had to do in order to get the family to where you are now, or for you to be at the place where you are now. They want you to value where you come from or value your ancestral lineage. You may need to go on some kind of a trip to find out more about your family or about your heritage. But in any case, I'm getting that your ancestral forces that look out after you, protect you, guide you, they're extremely strong at this time, and you should be paying attention to the things that really matter. Not to disregard anything, and also not to be discarded by others, to stand up for what is important to you. And so and also to how do I put this? To honor your own responsibilities, but not in a negative way or a way that has to involve hardship anymore. So in your surroundings, you have the Four of Swords, and in this deck, I love this version of this card. This is the Five of Cups, which in a lot of decks, this is considered a negative card, and it usually has a negative or a painful looking image. But in this, it's actually called ecstasy. And obviously, she is not depressed. She hasn't had any losses. She's completely in a happy trance, dancing in ecstasy. So what I'm getting from this is concerning your surroundings, it's important for you to rest and then play. Or it's important for you to rest, and not just rest your body, but rest your mind, rest your psyche, to take downtime or take moments to just simply relax. And that will help you regenerate and rebirth your energy so that you can get back to life. Get back to the fun aspects of life again, where you can enjoy your life and have enough energy. It's important for you to focus on rest and enjoyment as well as goals and other things. So, your fears. Your fears are of carrying too much for the sake of other people, too much responsibility. If you look, this 10 of Wands here is called responsibility, but it's not a pleasant version of responsibility. It's a back-breaking, painful kind of responsibility of you need more help. You are pretty good as your best possible outcome with being able to manifest what you need and to have a nice little situation going on for yourself. But there is some clearance needed of clearing old garbage out and making some major assessments so that you will not do this anymore. You can't continue to do this for very much longer. You're only human after all, no matter how tough you goats are. You're still human. This looks like it's way too much. And you're afraid of some kind of ending, and you don't know if you can get through it. But keep in mind, your hope is to drop those wands and to pull those swords out of your back so that you will no longer, your fear is that you will continue to stay with it, have this energy stay or linger in your life. But I don't necessarily see that. So your general outcome is that good things are on their way, that you're about to see some major progress. You're about to have some new opportunities open up to you. Perhaps it's a blessing in disguise that what is hindering you or your challenge this month is making up your mind on where to go. You may be boxing yourself in thinking that you only have 2 options, when in actuality you may even have 3 or more options. And maybe your indecision has been a blessing in disguise, because it seems as though something is coming to you still that you may not completely be aware of. And once it arrives, you'll realize on why you were so stuck on those 2 options before, is because when the 3rd one arrives, it is the one and you know it. You feel as though you can trust this to grow, expand, and bring you to exciting places. And if you need funding, or if you need emotional support, or anything, if you need anything, your clarifier with the 3 of Wands is generosity, or is the 9 of Cups in this deck. I think it's the 9 of Cups. And so whatever you need will be provided to you. You will be able to attract situations and people into your life that are more than happy to give to you and to be generous towards you, rather than taking too much from you. And so when I compare your best possible outcome with your general outcome, it looks pretty good to me, Capricorns. It looks excellent. So something about this shift in the future, with letting go of things that hold you back and focusing on what truly matters to you and staying positive, you need to realize that your cup will be refilled constantly if you just stay positive and focus on the things that really matter to you and weed out the things that no longer serve you or keep you in the dark. And then it's full force ahead. And not only that, there's generosity, there's abundance, there's love, There's prosperity, there's adventure, there's future excitement, exciting opportunities on the way. It looks amazing. So hopefully that made sense to you or helped you in some way. I wish you all the best. Many blessings to you. And I shall see you soon with your bonus reading. Obviously, this is a general reading. It's not going to go too much into specifics like love or career or any of that stuff. So if you want to know more about that, you may want to check out your bonus reading. Okay, guys. Bye. See you soon.